Hey guys, hope everybody's having an awesome night. Probably won't be too long of a video because we're getting everybody's programs ready for the next 2 weeks, and it's just been busy, man. But busy is good, like we kind of talked about before. So I'm gonna do the draw for the Smoke and Mirrors challenge, where everybody kind of posted pictures of them um, before and after, and just kind of like a little personal realization that not everything is as it seems on social media. So that's kind of the basis of the challenge. And as you guys can see, just a simple little angle, a simple little tweak, right? So a lot of the stuff that we're consuming in social media just it isn't really accurate, and you just gotta really focus on you because nothing else really matters at the end of the day, right? Whatever you want, you can achieve, and whatever you want, you can get there. It's just a matter of putting in that work, and you guys are putting in that work. So I'm super, super stoked to see everybody's check-ins tomorrow morning. I've got a bunch of work I got to do tonight before that happens. But I'm excited to see that. It's always kind of like my favorite. It's always hectic. It's crazy hectic because, of course, we have other clients too, and it's just, it gets silly. But at the same time, it's also really rewarding. And saying, I just kind of sit there and take it all in and kind of, it's cool. It's fun. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys before we go ahead and do that draw about a couple of things. Number one, right? And this is something I kind of talked about before, but I just wanted to reiterate with you guys. There is a couple of different ways that you can do the challenge, right? You can go in there and you can kind of read your exercises and you can get the reps done. Or you can really stop and you can really slow down and you can really make each rep effective. Each rep, I know that sounds crazy, but each rep is only as effective as you want it to be, right? There's that special little thing which I've kind of talked about before, which is mind muscle connection. And mind muscle connection really comes into play above and beyond just doing the rep. You know what I mean? You can do a rep. Everybody can do a rep where you go in and you choose your exercise and you're like, okay, I'm doing a rep. But the real magic happens when you really start to slow those reps down and you really start to make a connection with the muscle that you're trying to train, right? When you slow everything down, you feel it, you're focusing on that squeeze, whatever it might be. And at the very end of the contraction, you have an option. You can finish off the contraction and go down, or you can give it a little extra squeeze. And when you're really looking to bolster your physique and kind of push it to a new level, focusing on that squeeze and giving it a little bit of extra squeeze of your own, right? And I'm not talking about exercises where you're locking out because you don't want to go. You never really want to lock out during an exercise, not even a bench press, not a not a squat, not an anything. But you do really want to feel that motion. You really want to pay attention to that, and especially for example with the triceps, a cable tricep squeeze where you're coming down, you can really put that extra tension on the back of your tricep, and making a note of doing that is going to really help the effectiveness of the workout that you're doing. It has a lot refining those little details in your physique and kind of shocking them into growth and forcing them into growth really has a lot to do with that extra little tweak that you put in. So just remember that moving forward, guys. Your workouts are going to be as effective as you want them to be and as effective as you'll let them be. And a lot of that really depends on your mentality and the amount of work that you're putting in above and beyond the work. And that just refers to doing the motion and giving it an extra little squeeze, right? So just a couple of things to keep in mind. Somebody as well today was asking about cheat meals. What are the requirements for a cheat meal? Essentially, I mean, the requirements for a cheat meal are that you have one, for one. And I really believe in that for a couple of reasons. Number one, when you have a cheat meal and you give your body a bunch of extra calories, hey, Coco, there's a hormone in your body called leptin, and leptin is one of the hunger hormones. And when you have a huge influx of carbs or protein, or you just have a huge influx of food, your body lets that signal know, lets your body know that you're not going to go into starvation mode, and your leptin levels are going to drop, which means that you're going to be less prone to hunger attacks, and you're going to be less prone to cheating on your diet the rest of the week. So not only does it have a good mental effect, and I've programmed all of your meal plans, with that in mind, that you guys are going to be having a cheat meal. Um, so go out and enjoy that. Go out and have fun with that. If you're wondering, kind of, like what should the standard cheat meal be, um, if you're taking down 3 pizzas in a single sitting, it might be a little bit much, right? But essentially, the way that I kind of define it, and the way that Joshua kind of defined it, was pretty much correct. You know, you sit down, have a big meal, enjoy, have a dessert, and that one meal and that one sitting with that dessert is essentially your cheat meal, right? Um, and sometimes that's going to be 1,000 calories, and that's cool. The body's only going to really absorb uh, so much fat and carbohydrates. I'm actually getting into that as well while we're talking. But cheat meals aren't bad for you. Just make sure that your cheat meal doesn't turn into a cheat night, which turns into a cheat next day, which turns into a cheat week. And it's really easy for that to happen. I've been asked before, is it better for me to cheat with carbs or is it better for me to cheat with fats? And the truth of the matter is that overall, because I've been doing a lot of study search even just before I took this on because I wanted to make sure I have my ducks in a line. And a lot of studies are showing that, typically speaking, eating what you're eating is going to give you the same effects. 600 calories of carbs is going to give you the same effects as 600 calories of fat. But I kind of have my own opinion on that, and I can kind of explain why I think that if you're going to do a cheat meal, you should probably do it with fat. I also do want to mention as well, every cheat meal that you guys are taking in, it's really, really important that you take in a substantial amount of protein and a substantial amount of fiber with that cheat meal if you can, because the fiber is actually going to help reduce the effect of the carbs and your insulin spike. It's going to help pad that a little bit, as well as the protein. So when you are cheating, I'd like to think that you guys are definitely taking in some higher levels of protein, and I prefer that you guys get a certain amount of fiber because, as I said, that's going to dampen the blow from the overall calories. But I personally believe that it's better for you to cheat with fat over carbohydrates. And the reason why I say that is for a couple of reasons, but primarily because when you're eating a large amount of carbohydrates, as we've kind of talked about before, they tend, usually if you're going out for a cheat meal, it's probably going to be some simple carbohydrates, right? And simple carbohydrates tend to store water at a ratio of 3 to 1. So for every gram of carbs you consume, you're going to store 3 grams of water. So by having these, huge simple carb binges, you're going to wake up the next day and you're going to be bloated, right? And sometimes, depending on where your head's at, Coco, burrito, calm down, guys. Depending on where your head's at, you're going to wake up the next morning and you're going to have the, oh, I hate myself feeling, right? Hey. These dogs are insane. I swear to God. Anyway, not only that, but we've kind of talked about it before. What happens when your insulin levels spike? So your insulin levels spike, shoot through the roof. They're super high, right? And that causes, and then eventually they drop. And when they drop, they come down below your baseline. When they come down below your baseline, ghrelin kicks in. And ghrelin is another hunger hormone. And ghrelin kicks in, and when you're extremely hungry, and it lets the body know that it's time to start processing fat, or it's time to start using fat as a fuel source. So when that happens, as we talked about, the psychological addiction to food, right? So you get all this stuff in your system, and you're full of these not healthy carbs. You're full of these carbohydrates, and your body's going ding, 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 ding. This is great. This is fantastic. And it's sending off the same dopamine feelings that you get from, as I said, gambling, illicit drug use, love, all these kind of things. So your body's going ding, 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 ding. And then, of course, when your insulin levels drop, that drops too, which can tend to cause a lot of hunger and can tend to cause a lot of issues. So when they drop and all of a sudden you're hungry again, and the cycle kind of repeats itself, right? And that's the same reason why a lot of the times that a cheat meal turns into a cheat day, turns into a cheat night, turns into a cheat week, because it's just a vicious cycle of chemicals inside of your body saying, oh, that feels really, really, really good. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, okay, dopamine's down again. All the food's gone. My ghrelin's kicking up. My body's telling me I'm hungry. What am I going to do? Well, I already screwed up anyway. I might as well continue to screw up. So I do recommend that if you're going to plan a cheat, that you do it with fat over carbohydrates. Once again, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but I'm just telling you a couple of things that can help you out. Um, and I say fat because fat is a lot more filling, it's a lot more satiating. People tend to eat less fat because they get fuller, and of course the water absorption as well. So just a few things for you guys to consider anyway when you guys are knocking down your cheat meals after your amazing check-ins. I'm just looking for a hat because I'm going to do the draw for the Smoke and Mirrors competition. So just I'm not filming this live because our internet is shoddy tonight, which it often is. But I'm going to kind of go over this, and I'm going to keep this as accurate as I can. You guys will see the hat. I'm not going to do any magic tricks. I've got one for Kevin. Pardon my horrible writing. I've got one for Sean. I've got one for Mike H. Mike Hensley. I have one for James. I have one for Jack. And I have one for Chad. So I'm going to mix this all up, and then just to keep it extra fair, Senya, can you come over here, sweetheart? She's going to come over and she's going to pick it. I know, the Wi-Fi is hurting my soul too.
Yes.
Okay. Hey guys. All right, so look
I'm
that
not
way.
looking.
She's not looking. She's looking that way.
This one. Wait, no.
Whoa.
This one.
Wait for it.
So how are you today?
How are you? You're terrible.
Yeah.
All right, Chad. That's Chad Hollinger. Just to let you guys know, you can see everybody else is in there. I've got no benefit from rigging these things anyway. But Chad Hollinger, you're the winner of the challenge this week. So I will be reaching out to you here in the next day, and I will be sending you off a prize pack from bodybuilding.com. Other than that, guys, tomorrow is check-in day. Make sure you do give me your check-ins, and I'll get them back to you. I'll be slaving away all tomorrow and all the next day. I will probably not even leave the house tomorrow. I might leave to grab some chicken and some snacks so we can prepare. But other than that, guys, challenge is going well. We got 2 weeks left. Life is good. Keep doing what you're doing. I love everything you guys are doing in the group. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you guys. And we'll talk to you super soon. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great night. Bye.